Hi, this is Steve from Coalbeam Games, and this video is introducing the Phase 4 and 5 release galactic upgrades for Beat Hazard 3. It's quite a lot to go through, there's a lot of changes in this version, so let's just jump straight in. Hi, something that I forgot to talk about when I was recording the video was that's the removal of uranium fuel. So you used to have to use uranium fuel to move between planets. So you'd have to collect it, store it, and it's, to be honest, just a bit of a pain. So now I just completely got rid of that. So it used to be in this screen, so it's no longer there. It just makes things way easier. So now if you want to travel from planet to planet, you just do. You don't have to do anything. There we go. It just does it. Just makes things way easier. So whether I'll use uranium for something else, I don't know. But for the time being, I've just taken it out of the game. Made things a bit simpler. The first thing I've done is added a better help section. There's a lot more information in here to help you understand some of the galaxy rules, the resources, and other bits and bobs. It's still not quite finished, but have a read through this if you're not sure about something. This is now the new Galaxy hub with the Galaxy instructions right at the top. I've added a Galaxy directory. The way this works is you can, when anybody makes a Galaxy, they can keep it to themselves. They can publish it online, but it's not public. So once it's published online, other people can use a Galaxy ID to join it. Or once you've published it online, you can then add it to the directory. And the directory is just a list of these galaxies. So we've got the newest ones with recent activity, ones with the most players, and the Galaxy challenge system is in as well, and this is where the challenges get added. So if you look here, these three galaxies are generated by the game and are challenge galaxies. So there's a whole load of information on here now. There's the name and the description. There's new rules that can be applied to galaxies. So there's PvP galaxies and PvE galaxies. So this is what these icons represent. I'll go through those. Things like when it was created, how big it is, the challenge modes, it puts the type of music that's in that galaxy. Whether there's teams, what the objective is, how long that galaxy is going to exist for. So now galaxies can time out. So you can say I want a galaxy to last 4 days. Each galaxy also now has a special Galaxy Elite reward. So if you win the galaxy, this is the reward you get when the time is complete. And there's 3 classes of ship that you can win, and I'll go through this in more detail. So that's the Galaxy directory. So you go to the directory if you want to have a look at whatever the challenges that have been generated by the game, or to join galaxies made by other people. You've then got the standard join with ID. So if that's a published one that's been private, and then you've got these my online galaxies. This is one that I've made but not published. So let's drop into. Let me create a new galaxy, and I'll show what's been added. So this part is as it was, but now we've got these gameplay rules. So you can specify the number of teams. So none, 2, 3, or 4, and teams only applies to PvP galaxies. So PvP galaxy with no teams is every man for himself, and then obviously from then on 2 teams, 3 teams, 4 teams. PvE, where everybody's basically together, is no team, but essentially one big team. Time limit's pretty obvious, so you can say how long you want that galaxy to exist. PvP can be eternal, PvE can't be. And then at the bottom is what are the objectives of this galaxy. So PvP, you can do things like capture planets, or you can do collecting different types of resources within that galaxy. PvE is all about everybody trying to collect these things together, so things like capturing planets doesn't apply because it doesn't really make any sense. So I can say let's create a PvE galaxy where we've got, say, mine's going to be pretty small, so say 2 days to collect, say, all the alien blueprints, and you just press OK. When you finish the galaxy, those rules get added. So there's quite a lot of different things you can do now. I like both types. PvE galaxies are good because you sort of all join forces and you're trying to collect all these things within the time limit. And the PvE galaxies can be really intense battles over different planets, and depending on whether it's teams and the structure, there's lots of different tactics that become involved. So if I quickly go through this, because depending on the type of galaxy, the rules are quite varied. So things like PvP galaxies where you're trying to capture things, you get a point for a track, 3 points for an album, and 5 points for an artist. You also get 10 points if you capture a track off someone else, so that's an incentive to go and beat other people's stuff. When it comes to collecting things, the rewards, they get split amongst the tiers of the players. So if you're in a, say, free-for-all game, it's not just the top player that gets the reward, it sort of breaks it up into the top quarters. So the top quarter people get the class 1 ship, and so on. So I mean, all the rules are there, and to be honest, when you read it, it's pretty obvious how it works. So that's the galaxy, the new galaxy system. I mean, there's not much to show as such because it's such a, you have to go and play it. I mean, here's one I'm playing with someone else where we're actually trying to collect the blueprints. So it's 7 days remaining. So in this mode, it will be whoever has the most blueprints at the end of those 7 days would be deemed the winner. Currently, I've got 7. I mean, this is a team game as well. There's only 2 people in at the moment, but if more people joined, there would be split amongst the different teams. This is all needs probably. I'm open to all the feedback that you guys might have when you play all these different modes. There's a sort of ton of things that's been added. What else have we got? Yeah, all that. A few quality of life updates. I've added a new option where you can set the menu volume and the music volume separately, and there's also just been added game settings. There's only one thing in it at the moment, but that's auto aim, so you can have no auto aim, auto aim only, which means you do the firing, which so you can decide when you're going to fire the dart beam or your main weapon, and then there's aim and fire, which does it all for you. So that's an extra mode that wasn't in Beat Hazard 2. So I hope you like this update. I say that there's a lot in there, but it's more. It takes time to play through it. So have a bash, give some feedback. The next thing I'm going to be doing is Mothership improvements. And that should be a bit more interesting in terms of things to see. But I'll still be developing the Galaxy mode based on people's feedback, pushing it, and probably some gameplay wise probably needs a bit of tweaks. But yeah, I hope you like this new version. There's loads of stuff to get your teeth into, and I'll now crack on with the Mothership phase. Thanks very much. Cheers.